This is not a movie scene, this really happened. On a violent battlefield during World War II, one American soldier refused to retreat, refused to surrender, and refused to die quietly. His name was Lloyd Hawks, and what he did that day would earn him the highest military honor in the United States, the Medal of Honor. Today, we're going to step back in time to one of the most dangerous moments of World War II and meet the man behind the hero. Lloyd Hawks was not famous, not rich, and not born into greatness. He was an ordinary American who answered the call when his country needed him. In the chaos of war, where fear, explosions, and death surrounded him, Hawks showed a level of courage that most people can only imagine. In this video, you will learn how one soldier's determination, bravery, and self-sacrifice changed the course of a battle and saved the lives of countless fellow soldiers. This is the true story of Lloyd Hawks, a man who proved that even in the darkest moments, one brave heart can make history. The sound of gunfire echoed across the battlefield. Smoke filled the air. Soldiers were pinned down, unable to move without risking their lives. In the middle of all that chaos, one man stood his ground. Bullets were flying past him, explosions shook the earth beneath his feet, and yet he kept moving forward. This was not a scene from a Hollywood movie. This was real. This was the moment Lloyd Hawks became a legend. Hawks was not a man seeking glory. He was not trying to be remembered. He was simply doing what he believed was right. In one of the most dangerous moments of World War II, when fear controlled the battlefield, Hawks chose courage instead. Even after being wounded, even when his body was failing, he refused to stop fighting. His determination would save lives and change the outcome of a deadly encounter. Today, many people enjoy freedom without knowing the names of the heroes who paid for it. Lloyd Hawks is one of those heroes. His story is not just about war. It is about human strength, sacrifice, and the power of standing up when everything tells you to give up. And once you hear what he did, you will never forget his name. Lloyd Hawks was born on January 13, 1911, in the United States. Like many young men of his generation, he grew up in a world that would soon be shaped by war. When World War II began, millions of Americans were called to serve, and Hawks was one of them. He joined the U.S. Army, not knowing where his journey would take him, but ready to do his duty. World War II was one of the most brutal conflicts in history. Soldiers faced extreme danger, harsh conditions, and an enemy that would not hesitate to kill. In this world of fear and destruction, ordinary people were forced to become something more. They became protectors, fighters, and heroes. Hawks was sent into battle alongside his fellow soldiers, where teamwork and bravery meant the difference between life and death. He was known as a strong and determined man who cared deeply about his comrades. What would happen to him on the battlefield would push him beyond his limits and prove just how powerful the human spirit can be when it is driven by loyalty and courage. During World War II, Lloyd Hawks found himself in the middle of one of the most intense combat situations imaginable. His unit was moving through dangerous territory when they were suddenly attacked by enemy forces. The air was filled with bullets, and the ground shook from explosions. Soldiers were taking cover, trying to survive as the enemy pressed in. The situation was desperate. Enemy positions were well defended, and Hawks' unit was struggling to move forward. Every step meant risking everything. It was in this moment that Hawks made a choice that would define his legacy. Instead of staying behind cover, Hawks moved forward toward the enemy. He knew that if someone didn't act, more lives would be lost. With complete disregard for his own safety, he advanced under heavy fire. Even when he was hit and wounded, he did not stop. He kept pushing forward, drawing enemy fire and giving his fellow soldiers the chance they needed to move and fight back. His bravery in that moment was beyond anything expected of a single soldier. Hawks was no longer just fighting for himself, he was fighting for everyone around him. Despite his injuries, Lloyd Hawks continued to fight. Blood was pouring from his wounds, and the pain must have been unbearable, but he refused to retreat. He knew that his actions were keeping the enemy distracted and allowing his unit to survive. At a critical moment, Hawks attacked enemy positions head-on. His fearless advance forced the enemy to pull back, giving his fellow soldiers a chance to regroup and continue the mission. Every move he made put his life in greater danger, yet he kept going. What makes his actions so powerful is not just the physical bravery, but the mental strength behind it. Hawks knew he might not survive, but he chose to keep fighting anyway. His sacrifice and determination turned the tide of the battle and prevented even greater loss of life. This was the moment that truly defined Lloyd Hawks. It was not about medals or recognition. It was about loyalty, duty, and the willingness to give everything for others. His courage became a shining example of what it means to be a true hero. Lloyd Hawks survived World War II, but the scars of battle stayed with him for the rest of his life. His bravery did not go unnoticed. For his extraordinary heroism, he was awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest military decoration in the United States. This award is given only to those who perform acts of incredible courage beyond the call of duty. Hawks passed away on October 26, 1953, but his legacy lives on. His story reminds us that true heroes are not always famous, but they are unforgettable. They are the people who stand tall when everything is falling apart. They are the ones who choose sacrifice over safety. Today, When we enjoy freedom and peace, it is because of men like Lloyd Cortez Hawks. His courage, his loyalty, and his willingness to risk everything for others will always be remembered. His life teaches us that even one person, in the darkest moment, can make a difference. And that is why Lloyd Cortez Hawks will forever be a hero.